Hello everyone, this is Dave, and today I'm creating a wreath with a little bit of a twist. So it's a little farmhouse, it's a little bit of a spring flair, it's natural, it's neutral. I just love how this came together and I hope you do as well. This video is also a collaboration with all these handsome men. Look at those smiles. So stick around and keep watching, and I'll go into detail about the collaboration in just a few minutes. But first, let's get to that materials list. The items that I'll be using today is a 14-inch wire wreath frame, 4 8x10 photo frames. I have a book here to read while my paint dries, a glue gun and glue sticks, some paintbrushes in various sizes, a ramekin, some acrylic paints. I have white, cream, brown, and I also have some chalk paint, scissors. I have these fake leaves, and I found these wired hemp cords. I'm totally going to use these. Love them. 4 packages of white eggs. I have a whole bunch of extra burlap that I have left over. These onion grasses, I have 5 of those, and some moss. So that's everything I'm going to be using to create the wreath today. I'm going to start off creating the base wreath for this wreath. So with my wreath frame facing down, I'm going to attach the burlap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it all the way around. So the first thing I want to do is I want to secure it down such that it doesn't come apart. And as you can see here, I need a little bit more hot glue there. And I'm just going to dab my fingers because, of course, it's hot glue. Surprise, surprise. So then all I'm doing is wrapping it around. Now, this isn't going to be shown or seen, so I'm not too worried about how it looks. I'm just going to quickly wrap it around. I just want a surface area to attach everything to. So I'm just going to take that roll and wrap it all the way around. And when I come to the end, I'm just going to cut off the excess, fold that little tab over, grab some more hot glue, put that all down there, and with my handy dandy little hot glue tool, I'm just going to push that burlap into the glue, let that all dry, and then we have our base all ready to go. And the next step is I'm going to speckle these Easter eggs. And I would strongly suggest doing a protective surface when you do this because it is messy. Let me tell you that. When you spackle the paint, it is totally messy. So I'm just going to open these up. I'm going to start off with my first dozen. Like I said in the materials list, I have actually 4 packages of these white ones. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little ramekin with some brown acrylic paint. I'm going to mix that together with some water with my paintbrush and get that paintbrush all nice and saturated in there. And then all you do is a flicking motion. So it's a little tapping motion at the top, and you just get those beautiful little natural speckles all over the place. Now you can see the first one I put a little bit too much, but that's okay. It's all natural, right? So I'm going to let these eggs all dry, and I want to talk about today's collaboration. I am so excited to be part of this wonderful experience. The Let's Hear It for the Boys collab is a friend-style hop series where you can watch a series of videos on hop from one video to the next. All you got to do, just click on the link below in the description box and you'll be sent to a new video. Here is my base wire frame. My eggs are all dry. And now all I'm going to do is randomly just hot glue those eggs down. So there is no method to my madness. There's no rhyme, no reason. Well, actually, yes, the reason is I want to make a beautiful wreath. But really what I'm trying to say is I didn't have a plan in my head. Like this egg goes at this 30-degree mark. This egg goes at 65. I just grabbed the eggs, grabbed my hot glue, and I just started filling it all out like you can see here. And then with putting in the last couple of ones there, I'm just going to sneak those in, and there you go. It's all nice and full. So with the glue all dry, my eggs all down, I'm going to cut off these little leaves. I didn't have a description of what this plant was called. It was just called foliage. Greenery bush, I think it was called. And that was it, so I have no idea what it was really called. But I found it at the Dollar Tree, and I was very happy. And all I'm doing, again, like I did with the eggs, is I'm going to throw a little bit of hot glue down at the bottom there and fill in some spots with that greenery. And very random, very loose, just kind of wherever it wants to go is where I throw it. And there's a last leaf going on there. And I'm actually liking how this is turning out so far. Now it's time for the onion grass. I have 5 packages of these, and they are kind of wrapped at the bottom, but you have to take the little nub off of the top. So all I did was grab my wire cutters and I cut off that little nub. And you can see here that I eventually get it off. I have to pick the right one, of course. But I just did that for all of them and made a little pile on the right-hand side there. And what I'm doing is I'm just going to cut off that little nub at the bottom, fold it in half, and then I'm going to throw a whole bunch of hot glue right at the bottom there. And then I'm just going to attach that to the wreath. And like I did with the eggs and like I did with the leaves, I'm just going to randomly place these all around. Again, cutting off that little nub, folding it in half, putting a whole bunch of hot glue down on there, and then just throwing it on the wreath wherever it wants to go. And here I am, I'm just putting the finishing touches on it. I do go back and I do make the cuts a little bit less even, let's say, so it looks a little bit more natural, and I do crimp them a little bit. Everything looks straight and perfect right now, so I do go back and I squish it all up. I'm just going to interrupt you for 2 seconds. I just wanted to say thank you so much for continuing to watch this video today. I hope you are enjoying it. I had a blast making it. I know all the other guys in the collaboration had a great time too. To all my returning friends, hello and welcome back. To my new viewers today, hello, my name is Dave, and I am the host here at Dave's Wreath and Things, where I make wreaths and things. Each week, I upload a video where I make a wreath or DIY projects for your home that are fun, exciting, easy to do, but more importantly, budget friendly. So if you're new here, I would love it if you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can be notified whenever I upload a new project. And as part of the Let's Hear It for the Boys Friend Hop video series, guess what? Dun, dun, dun. We have a prize pack that is going to be given away to one lucky individual thanks to the generosity of a Maker Studio, Surebonder, Catch, and Dollar Tree. To enter, all you have to do is leave a comment on every video in the hop until you come full circle. Good luck! I'm going to keep my fingers crossed for all of you. Let's get to those finishing touches on the wreath. So I have my wreath here, and I'm going to grab this moss, and with my glue gun, all I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a whole bunch of glue right in those open areas, and I'm just going to throw that moss in there, and every once in a while, I do pick up the wreath, and I just kind of shake off the excess moss. Now, we've all worked with moss before. It does get messy, and there's a lot of moss that goes on this wreath. And all I have to say is I will put up with the mess because I just love the look of moss and how natural it is. So here I am putting the finishing touches on this. I'm just adding the moss here and there. And what I'm going to be doing next is adding that wire hemp cord on there. Now, I found these, and I've never seen them at Dollar Tree before, but what I wanted to do is kind of wrap it around the wreath to kind of make it look like branches just like this. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip that wreath over and feed the wire. Now, it's a really strong wire, so it was easy to put through the burlap. And then I'm just going to randomly kind of wrap it around. There was a natural coil to this wire, so I'm kind of following the natural coil, and I'm just letting it do what it wants to do here. I have purchased 4 packages of these, so one package goes on a quarter. Does that make sense? So in 1/4 of the wreath, I used one, the other quarter another, and so on and so forth. So 4 quarters is the whole, right? So here I am at the very end, just twist tying it again, and that's the look that I was going for, and I absolutely love it. Of course, I'll have to zoom in later on to show you how it does look. It doesn't really pick up on camera here, but I'm just finishing that off, and there we go. I just love how that turns out. Let me give you a little bit of a closer look so you can see. Here you go. How does that look? I just absolutely love that wire. And For my final steps, I am taking these 4 picture frames, and they're 8 by 10. Just going to take the backing off, and I'm going to save that. And with the frame, all I'm going to do is take some chalk paint and my little dabber, and I'm going to paint the whole surface. So the front, the sides. I'm not going to paint the back because nobody's going to see it, but I just paint everywhere, and I'm going to let that dry. And I do all 4 of them. So let's just let that all dry, and then we will come back and see what happens next. So here they're all dry. I did end up painting these a off-white color, and there's the backing as well. Side note, I did end up going back to painting those frames white. Okay, let's go back. I got sidetracked. I take the back of the frame off because I'm not going to use it, and I'm just going to get it out of the way. And then I'm just going to cut these burlap pieces. I do this for all 4 of the frames. So I'm going to lay down a whole bunch of hot glue. Watch out for those fingers. And then I'm just going to press that burlap down in there. And I'm going to take that second piece, do the exact same thing. I'm going to flatten it out, make sure it's nice and secured. And with my scissors, I'm just going to trim off that excess burlap. And we've got our backing all done. And we just throw it in that frame. And like I said, I've done all 4 of the frames, and you'll see them here all together. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to glue them all together. So I'm going to start with the top 2 and put them side by side. You can see I'm using a lot of hot glue because I don't want this to move at all. So I'm just holding it together, and then I'm going to let that dry while I grab my other one, and I'm going to throw down a whole bunch of hot glue as well. We don't want this coming apart at all. So I'm going to squish them together for a little bit. Let those dry while I grab the other piece. And again, more hot glue. We should invest in hot glue, man. And then I'm just going to push that all together. And you can see I'm going to use my whole arm to get that all together. And I'm going to let it dry completely before I move on. And with the magic of television, it's all dry, and I flip it over. And then guess what? More hot glue. I really don't want this going anywhere. So I flipped it over, and right in those cracks there, I just threw in a whole bunch. You can actually see my glue stick going down and disappearing so much. I think I used 2 of them in here, but I just wanted everything to be nice and secure, and I didn't want anything to move anywhere. So I'm just gonna let that dry. And like I said previously, I did paint this again. I went back to the white color. I liked it a lot better, and I placed a hook right at the top there to hang my finished wreath on. So what do you guys think? I absolutely love how this turned out. It's a little bit of a twist, spring flair, farmhouse. I love those wires, just so much fun. I had so much fun doing it. And again, don't forget, this is a collaboration. Let's hear it for the boys. And it's a hop style video, so click the link down below. And don't forget, leave a comment in every single person's video for your chance to win. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.